Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Kool-Aid from Base Damage, here back again with another budget deck. This time, Faked Illya Berserker deck. Yeah, it's mono blue, and this is, I want to say about low to mid budget. The most expensive card's about $5, and there's only one other card that's about $3. I'll explain those as I come to them. But yeah, let's jump right into this. There is other cards that you can add, which I will point those out later, that you can add to the deck to make better, but it does increase the overall cost if you want to go that far. Your choice. It's whatever you want to do. Yeah, we start off with warning before the battle Illya. She is a assist in front if she has a marker, and under her, she's 1,000 assist. She gets the marker by putting another copy of her under her when she's played from hand to stage. So it's just an ability that activates, and you can easily do a basically free cost 1,000 buff to the two cards in front of her. You got a short rest Illya. She's a 4K, so overpowered. So her demerit is that when she becomes reversed in battle, if your opponent wants to, they can activate this effect where they get to draw 2 cards, and then they have to discard 2 cards. So your opponent can draw and do some hand fixing if she becomes reversed. But half the time, my opponent isn't really able to do that at level 0. So if I get pushed to level 1 first, I just scoot her to the back row for another ability later on. The first quote-unquote expensive card of the deck, but it's only like $3 now online, last I checked. As of the recording of this, which is December 6th, yeah, December 6th when I record this, she's about $3. She has 2 effects. Both are on play, so you can choose when they go off. The first is you top check the top card of your deck, and if it is a master or servant character, it goes to your hand, and then you have to discard 1 card. The other is also on play. You can pay 1 and deal yourself damage off the top of the deck to draw 1 card. So she can push you along further in levels. I only had access to about 3, so I want a 4th one just to test around with the deck. So I'll probably be ordering one of those soon. Then the next is Strongest Warrior Berserker. It can't side attack. It gets 1,000 power for every marker under him, and he gets markers when he becomes reversed. Basically, every time he becomes reversed, as long as the number of markers under him is not 10 or less, meaning you have to kill him like 11 times. No, 12 times, because on the 11th time there was still, if it would still be 10. So you have to kill this little dude 12 times if you want to, by battle, if you want him to be gone. But you take the top card of your stock and put underneath him as a marker, and he rests himself every time he becomes destroyed. It's playing off of the lore of the character, so I'd recommend looking that up if you want to understand why it does that. Last for level 0s is a Strong Bond Illya. She has a bond for 1 effect on play. You can pay 1 to add a particular level 1 from waiting room to hand. And then when she gets sent from the field to the waiting room, you can pay 2 to search your deck for your level 3. So, which is really good. Specifically, it grabs that name. So, it's not like it just grabbed any Master Servant character, but really good. I only decided to tech in 1 copy, but it's come in. It's really good. The card that it grabs, specifically, we start off with level 1s, is Sturdy Servant Berserker. It's a free cost 45, level 1, and it gets 1,000 as long as you have 5 or more cards in hand. So you come to 55, and with Clock on Core on top of that, which has been really fun. Newest addition to the deck from the Fate Zero. I couldn't think of the damn name, sorry. From Fate Zero is Flames of Purgatory. It is essentially a mirror copy of the Forest of Giant Trees from Attack on Titan for the Titan deck. Basically, it's a level 1 event. You search your deck for up to 1 master character and 1 servant character. Add those to your hand, discard 1 card, and then this specific event goes to your memory. Forest of Giant Trees adds 2 Titans and does the same for the after effects. So usually you grab a Berserker, you grab an Illya, and you're good. But the level 3 is both Master and Servant, so you could grab 2 copies of that and not care. Your first big beat stick of the deck is Overwhelming Violence Berserker. It's a level 1. He's 2 cost with only 1 soul, but that 95 power though. And he has a forced encore. When he becomes reversed in battle, yeah, have fun with that. Put the top card of your deck into your clock and rest him. So, yeah. But the thing is, as big as he gets, unless they do, unless it's certain sets that do particular climax combos, you're not getting over that at level 1. It's going to be like level 2, to which I will have played more stuff. You'll have played stuff that helps buff them up even bigger and harder to get over. Also, another card that gets around that, it's one of the level 2 cards I'll show you in a bit. Best level 1, if not best card in this deck by far, Confronting a King Illya. On play, you can discard a card and search your deck for any Berserker and add it to hand. So, grab that guy, grab that guy. Most of the time, you're going to be grabbing the first level 2 that we're going to talk about in a second here. Mostly because her second effect works around him as well. When she gets frontal attacked, you can pay 2 and send her back to your hand, so reusable search effects, to summon him, a copy of him from the hand. So, yeah. If they are foolish enough to frontal attack her, he comes out and he is huge. Once again, he gets really big. I'll go ahead and explain him. He gets 1,000 for every Illya in the back row. So by his own effect, he becomes a 95 without the drawback of the forced encore. Plus, that doesn't count whatever other, between this card buffing or another level 2 that's going to be talked about in just a second, between just the amount of buffing that can go on in this deck, the amount of searching, deck thinning, hand fixing that goes on in this deck, it's just all those elements are right there and it's really fun. But you definitely run 4 of her, definitely. I run 4 of him, some people just do 3, but it's whatever. The card that helps also back row, being both an Illya and a particular buffer for him. A Battle of Legend Illya. First ability is all your other strong-willed berserkers get 1,000 power. Wherever they are on the field, it doesn't matter. And then she's a level assist, 500 per level for the characters in front of her. So, doing the math here, if you have 2 Illyas, say you have 2 of those back row. If you get 2 Illyas in the back row, he's 95. 2 of her in the back row automatically gives him anywhere on stage another 2,000. And then if he's like middle center, that's another 2,000 on top of that. So he can become, let's see, that's 13.5. The middle center, 13.5 with 2 of her on field. So that's going to get over a lot of stuff and survive for turns. Literally, I've thrown down like 2 copies of him with just 2 Illya back row, and half the time people are just having to side or suicide to do any kind of damage whatsoever. So he gets big. Run 3 of her. She's fun. Plus, she works. Her level assist works for any character. The global 1,000 is just to Strong-Willed Berserker. First climax combo of the deck is Lady Illya. If you swing with her and the number of other master or servant characters you control is 3 or more, and this is in your climax zone, is the Pants trigger, 1k1, you can draw 2 cards and then you discard 1 card. So she good. Getting some more hand fix a little bit later in the game. Granted, so many of these other cards can be played later game and it not matter. So, and it's all good. Yeah. I only run 2 copies of her, mostly because you're not particularly relying off that climax combo. But if it goes off, it goes off. I'll usually be sitting there with like 2 of this guy on field and just drop 1 of her for the climax combo, just for the hell of it, just to get a little bit extra. It's whatever. The best event in this deck, even past Flames of Purgatory, if not for any build of Illya Berserker you want to do, is Berserker's Will. I only run 3 copies instead of the 4 that some people run, just because adding in this, I didn't want it to be too cloggy with events, but it doesn't matter. I'll probably change it up later. But basically, it's a counter event. So choose one of your characters with Illya or Berserker in its card name, the whole deck. Send that card to the waiting room. And if you do, look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. Choose 1 card among them, put into your hand, and put the rest into your waiting room. Okay, 1, if your opponent has on reverse effects, you can use this during the trigger step to be able to get rid of that character if you know it's going to die. so they lose out on their effects, and you get to potentially replace it with a card that could save you. And the other thing is the fact that you just add a card, your opponent doesn't get to see what it is. If it states like Winter Moment Akatsuki, where when you do this mill 4 effect, you have to add a Fleet Girl, you have to show your opponent that it's a Fleet Girl. Your opponent has to be able to confirm. This, however, just says grab a card. Your opponent can look at the back of the thing and say, oh, yeah, you picked a card there. They don't get to see what the hell you're about to play. Really good, and that has also saved me from Clock Shoot, from the being able to pitch effect. Shoutouts to Joe Schmo on this one. He tried to kill me with the level 3 Nozo, and the Clock Shoot would have killed me for exact game. And I played this, got that target off the field that he was about to try to Clock Shoot with the level 3 Nozomi. And nope, I survived, came back, and won. So yeah, shoutouts to Joe on that. He thoroughly hates this card. And then the last is level 3 Relationship of Trust, Illya and Berserker. It's got 3 effects. Gets 1,000 for every Illya in your back row. And when it's played from hand to stage, you can draw up to 2 cards, and then you have to discard 1 card. And the climax combo is when this is in play, if it swings, mill the top 5 cards of your deck. And for every climax amongst those 5, attempt to burn your opponent for 1 for each. And then it's all added up. It's not like a separate increment of 1 for each. No, sorry, I worded that wrongly. So you mill 2, you burn for 2. You mill 1, you burn for 1. You mill 5, pray that you kill them, but you attempt to burn for 5. And it also gets 2,000 power until the end of turn. So he gets even bigger overall. Just that alone's like 1,400 like total base power. And then before everything else, as far as just like between climax combo, between his own abilities, if you have full back row with Ilya's and all that. And then it's just a 4-4 spread of both 1K1s between the book trigger and the pants trigger. And that is it for the whole deck. Cards that could be splashed in depending on your preference and or wallet size. You have Heroic Spirit Caster. I got lucky and was able to get her online for like $3 thanks to Moroku. And he found a good deal. She's about like $10 right now, so be careful. But she's a restander. So I've used that as an alternative potential win condition in case I wasn't able to get enough copies of this Berserker and get any burn off whatsoever. So she's been able to help and do some stuff, but I took her out for this deck profile. It's just it's a recommendation if you want. Silver Thread Alchemy Illya is a Winter Moment Akatsuki clone for the Master trait specifically, and then Snow Fairy Illya has a climax combo with Official Contract. Official Contract is a blue stock from the waiting room, 1 soul to everybody. And when this swings, if the number of your other Master or Servant characters is 4 or more, basically full field, and this is in play, when she swings, you can draw a card. But she is, let's see, about 10 right now, about 8 or 9-ish right now. This is fluctuated. I've seen it go anywhere from $12 to $15. Right now, I think it's settled at about 14. So can get pricey, but I need like 1 more and I have my playset. So recommendations if you want to build upon the deck and make it even better. But as of right now, this alone has done really good for me and it's been really fun to play. But thank y'all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any other deck profiles that you would like to see done or recommendations for deck profiles that you think would be cool or interesting concepts, thank you very much. Please send those in and just comment them. Just comment them down below. And please subscribe. Be much appreciated. This is Kool-Aid signing out for now. Peace out for now.